Hi folks, I'm Cooper and today on Cooking with Cleavers we're talking about how I store Chinese cleavers and how good ways for you to store them too. If you have a Chinese cleaver, you've probably noticed that they're large and inconvenient to store in traditional senses. At least in my house growing up, we always had a knife block and had slots in it for all of our knives. I've never seen a knife block that has a slot for a Chinese slicing cleaver of this size. There's probably somebody who makes it somewhere, but they're very potentially cost prohibitively expensive, and also a knife block just takes up a lot of space on your kitchen or your countertop anyway. My favorite way for storing slicing cleavers is with these wall-mounted magnetic knife holders. You can get them in either a metal variant or a wood variant. The important part is just that they have a strong enough magnet inside to hold up your blade. I live in an apartment that I'm renting right now, so these wall-mounted magnetic holders are all using some 3M double adhesive stuff that's super strong. You got to put that up, and then once you've stuck it to the wall, wait like 48 hours before you put any weight on it, but it holds up really well. You can also get the magnetic holders that bolt to your wall if you own your own house and are allowed to drill into walls. But the adhesive version works perfectly fine. Just of note, when you're removing your Chinese cleavers from the magnetic holder, it will take a lot more force than, say, removing a smaller knife that has less metal in contact. So I generally like to grab it with my palm up and then use my fingers to twist out from the holder and then pull off. That makes it easier to get off of the knife rack, because even if you have a weak magnet in your knife holder, just the amount of steel that's in contact with the blade makes it difficult to pull a knife off sometimes. So I use this wall-mounted magnet holder. You can also get wood blocks type things that are magnetic wood blocks. They're really just a flat board that has magnets in them and a kickstand on the back. You can find those on Amazon. I'll throw a link to an example of it. I've never tested any of those, but I'm sure they would work great. And another final option is if you're going to store your knives in a drawer, then you should never leave your knife blade edge uncovered. So another thing you can use to protect your blades is like a blade protector, blade guard cover. You can find blade guards that are designed for Chinese slicing cleavers and other Chinese cleavers, but they're generally more expensive, kind of cost prohibitive. But like this 2-inch thick Mercer cutlery, 12-inch long blade guard will work fine to protect the edge of your slicing cleaver. It doesn't come off easily. It's pretty secure. The best would be to protect or to have a guard that goes along the entire blade, but you can't always win sometimes. But if you're going to store your knives in a drawer, I definitely recommend getting a edge guard or blade guard to protect the edge from dinging around other objects and to make sure that you don't get cut up on it or anyone in your family gets cut up on your knives as you need to get to them. So those are a couple options for storing your Chinese cleavers. Again, wall-mounted magnet holders or a countertop magnet type butcher block, as well as those edge guards for if you're going to store in a drawer. I guess the final options would just be to put it back in whatever packaging you bought your knife in, or I guess wrap up the blade in a towel or something, but that's seems more of a temporary type thing and kind of inconvenient. This is rather convenient. In fact, this isn't actually the knives I use for my cooking. This is just where I store my knives. I have another magnetic holder over by the countertop that I do my cooking on that holds the knives I'm presently testing or using for my daily cooking. But anyway, that's storage options for Chinese cleavers. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos about Chinese cleavers.